I'm Jane.
And I'm Cormac.
And welcome to the Irish Podcast.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Season 3.
Woo! So today's episode is, well, we're going home next week. And we were getting very excited about all the food that we're going to be eating. So we decided to make this episode all about Irish versus Italian food.
Oh, the heavyweight showdown.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, Italian's renowned for its cuisine.
Yeah.
But Ireland has some pretty good, you know.
We have our staple.
Yeah, we have our staples.
And they're not dishes you can easily replicate abroad because it's mainly stuff that you can only get in Ireland done a certain way.
Yeah.
That only we like.
Mhm.
Because the rest of the world is kind of like, you're just putting bread and chicken fillets into a roll. What's so special? It's like,
You don't understand.
you don't know.
So we're going to talk about like breakfast, different cuisines. What else are we going to
Styles of cooking, very like bread and baking, like food and
Tradition.
festivals.
And then next week we're going to talk about like drinks in general.
Yeah.
So like alcohol, coffee, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the drinking culture differences as well.
Mhm.
Aperitivo, happy hours, all that.
So let's just jump into it.
Let's go.
Breakfast.
Oh, yes.
Oh, so Italians, I'll talk about the Italian, I suppose, and then we'll talk about our dream Irish breakfast. Italians, they're very much like sweet breakfast, a pastry and a cappuccino.
Yeah,
That's kind of it. Their pastries are absolutely delicious.
there's
I
a
would say
lot of them.
I would say on par with the French. And
Yeah.
that it's just that their culture, you know, they eat for like 3 hours at lunch and then like another 3 hours at dinner. So breakfast is slightly overlooked.
Breakfast is very much a pistachio croissant with the cappuccino, and you dip it in
Mm-hmm.
and you have that.
Yeah.
A few maybe like little fruit cakes or little things like that, but
Mm-hmm.
very basic. They're
Really,
just like
really
they're
spiking the glucose levels straight out the gate.
straight out the gate in the morning. And
Well-
their cappuccino here is obviously treated as a breakfast drink. It's not after 12 o'clock. You do not order a cappuccino here,
Mhm.
which a lot of people have learned on holidays. When
Yeah.
you try and order one after dinner at 8 o'clock, the Italians laugh at you.
So the Irish breakfast. Oh,
Ugh.
I'm so excited.
Well, there's so many different avenues. It's like the full Irish, bing bang, job done.
Yeah.
Amazing. Or you put it in a roll.
Yes.
And you can have
Yorkshire roll.
rasher roll, sausage roll. Traditionally in Ireland, you know, you'd have, some people might get sausages just with a load of ketchup or brown sauce with some rashers, or just butter.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously, you know,
Yeah. What's your ideal fry?
my ideal fry is 2 bits of white pudding, 2 sausages. I like an extra bit of rasher. I like 3 rashers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do toast with a bit of butter on it. I'm not a big beans person for breakfast.
Beans, they just get all over the plate. They need to be like in a little container
Yeah.
if they're going to be on the plate. I don't eat them at all. So
No. And then I like a good old fried egg.
how hard do you like the yolk?
I like it quite runny. I like it like, what's it called? Like sunny side up? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like it like medium to well runny. I don't want it to just explode and go all over the plate, but I want it to be gooey and like
You've got to always serve it.
that. Well,
Always. It's like there's nothing better than a home cooked fry.
no.
There's no point in going out and having a fry. You need to like go and get the bits yourself and have
Yeah.
an Irish person cook it for you.
And it needs to be your mammy, and you need to be severely hungover, and that's where it really hits.
Mhm.
Really hits hard.
Yeah.
Or you go into a Centra or a Gala, and you get a roll in the morning.
That's the best way, especially if you're on a budget.
Yeah,
Go
you
into-
can go and get a breakfast roll, which is
Yeah.
great. Or you can go and get a chicken fillet roll, but that's also a lunch thing.
That's
so
a lot.
it's, I've seen people eat it for breakfast.
I've done it on a hangover, yeah.
Yeah. Because breakfast and a hangover is like 1 o'clock anyway. So.
Yeah. So my ideal fry would be 2 sausages. I like a plain sausage. In Italy, they do really nice sausages, but it's like spicy sausages or fennel or whatever. I like a plain sausage, so 2 of those, possibly 3 if they're only small ones. If you're
Yeah.
super queen, I want 3. I want
Yeah,
3
you want 3
sausages.
super quinn, yeah.
I like 1 white pud, 1 black pud.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't really like the black pud.
I'm not a big fan. Like I've had some nice black puddings in my life for sure, but I just love a white pudding.
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
I'm not
like
dissing the
it.
black pudding, but I'm a white pudding gal.
Yeah, I like one of each, and then whichever one is better, I like an extra one of that. And then 2 rashers. I don't mind a streaky rasher, but I don't like smoked. People have just gotten obsessed with the old smoked rashers. It's not my vibe.
No,
Not my vibe. And then no beans, no mushrooms, no tomatoes. Don't be waste. I want meat only on the
Yeah.
plate. And Then I don't mind a scrambled egg. And I like a hard-boiled egg. But yeah, I think scrambled eggs at the minute, but I always change up my eggs.
The scrambled eggs now for me are amazing, but it's if I was getting the old style, because my mum always did the eggs in the frying pan after the sausage,
Ideal,
obviously. Yeah. So it's that flavour that I hungover in the morning. That's what I'm looking for.
And I like really crispy bacon.
Yeah.
Really, really crispy bacon. Anyway, we could actually just make a whole podcast about the Irish fry.
So that's the difference. It's we like meat in the morning. The Italians, they like pastries in the morning.
Yeah. And like there's 10,000 restaurants in Florence and about 4 of them serve a brunch.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot more different.
And they're all like owned by either Australians or like someone who's lived abroad and is trying to literally go for the market of people who live here who want a normal breakfast.
Okay. Next one is, sorry, we have our notes in the middle of in the table.
So we don't go off topic and talk about sausage rolls all day. Also sausage rolls for breakfast.
Oh yeah, sausage rolls are savage. I can't read this because I'm absolutely blind. So
comfort foods.
Comfort foods. Okay, now I actually still can't read it. I don't know. You're just going to have to introduce the topics.
So next is comfort foods. So do you want to talk about a lovely rainy day in Ireland? What you're going to try and cook if it's pissing rain and the fire's on?
The comfort foods, I'm going to just list them out because this is everything that I'm going to eat when I get home. Immediately off the plane, I'm getting a chicken fillet roll. I like spicy chicken and coleslaw.
Yeah.
Don't want any cheese. Don't want any
butter on that.
No, just coleslaw and spicy chicken. Then, obviously the Irish spice bag is a phenomenon. It's amazing. It's shredded chicken and chips with like onions, carrots, maybe sometimes peppers, and then like a load of like Chinese five spice and deliciousness. It's amazing.
About a half a kilogram of salt.
Yeah, and I like that either with. What's it called? The peanut sauce?
Satay.
Satay sauce. Or if somebody, which is really ideal, if somebody else gets a Thai green curry and I steal it out.
Oh, that's why you always try to make me get a curry for myself. Like, it's lovely here, Cormac. You should get it.
It's really good.
Until we started splitting it then and we got a spice bag and a Thai green and we mixed it.
That's the ultimate. That is the ultimate.
Couple goals right there.
Home fry, obviously.
Yeah.
Also lamb. So, like my mom is on track to find a leg of lamb. We're slightly out of season now because we're in June, but she's going to go to Cashgary and get a leg of lamb.
I have my supplier back home. And fantastic.
He's so lucky.
I live beside a sheep farm and the farmer is very kind to us because we all often help him. And in return, we get a little lamb.
Little lamb.
Whole freezer full, but
it's amazing.
it's absolutely incredible.
So what about you? What are your top comfort foods?
Top comfort foods. Well, spice bag, obviously. I'm completely there with you. That's just like one of the best things ever. I would also go for traditional stew. I like a Guinness stew, like slow cooked for hours, like really just
beef and Guinness or lamb Guinness,
everything in there already. I know like a lot of people are like, no, you do the mash on the side and you put the stew over. I don't know. I like a bit of potato inside my stew. Might be strange.
Oh no, it's the traditional way to do it. It's just because I've been trying to be on keto for the last 2 months, so that's why I don't cook it with potatoes.
Yeah. So stew. I also coddle. I know it's kind of a unique one, but.
I like Dublin.
Dad from Dublin. Dad used to make it, and it's very much a comfort food. That was like.
Can you explain to people what coddle is, real quick?
It used to be a peasant dish in Dublin where you go to all the vendors at the end of the day at the market stalls and get all the leftovers. So it's sausage, it's rasher, it's potatoes, it's carrots, sometimes parsnip, and it's all just put in a massive pot covered with water, and you just put in like vegetable stock, and you slow cook it for hours and boil everything, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yep.
It's just slow cooked and it sounds horrible, but it's actually really delicious because once you get like the potatoes kind of emulsify and it gives it that texture.
No, I've had it before. It's really, really nice.
Really good. Really, really good. So that's
kind of like a stew as well, a little bit.
Yeah. Another comfort food for me would be a good old Supermax burger.
Oh yeah. So good.
Chicken fillet or like one of the 8 ounce big, just
I would do a shout out to Vinny's Takeaway in Galway. I find it slightly better than Supermax, and the woman who runs it is just a delight.
She is a delight. both family run. I'm very happy to support. So moving on then to Italian comfort foods. So here they love their soups for comfort foods.
They're so bad. They're actually so bad.
The ribolletta is like, they basically just put some sort of a corn or a start inside the soup, like orzo or something like that. And we're just not fans of it.
I hate it.
And, they traditionally are meant to do it inside of a bread bowl.
It's
great concept.
Watery soup. In Florence, they don't put any salt in their bread because they had a big fight with Pisa fucking 100 years ago. And
so they boycotted salt.
Yeah, so there's no salt in any bread here. So that's shit. And then you're just eating this watery soup and it's a tenner. Like a tenner for a bowl of soup. I can't justify it.
Yeah, you can't justify that at all. Another one, though, that I actually really do like is papa al pomodoro, which is basically when all the unsalted bread starts to go stale, which of course it does. Yeah. They chop it all up finally, bang it in a pot with a load of tomato sauce and just like slowly cook it through. It's actually really delicious.
I know it's just not for me.
Well, on a keto diet, it's like the opposite of what you want. Yeah. What is this? Emulsified bread and tomatoes.
Delicious.
But it really is. It really, really is. Like, obviously, Italians, they have a million pastas that are perfect comfort food as well. So comfort food, Italians have that.
Well, my comfort food in Italy is the bistecca al Fiorentina.
Yeah.
I do just love a nice steak, especially like if you've been out the night before and you go out for dinner and you're like, gorgeous big steak.
What I love though is when you're full in the restaurant and you're like, I can't do anymore. I'm hungover. I have the meat sweats now as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to take home the bone of the steak and a little bit leftover steak. And then you're going to whack that in a pan a few hours later just before you go to bed.
It's so good.
So good.
So good. I also love salsa verde here, different from the South American salsa verde. It's just absolutely delicious. If you can get your hands on it, do try it. It just goes with everything. Meat in sandwiches, on
bread,
salad,
crisps,
eggs,
anything.
Perfect.
Anything and everything.
So yeah, salsa verde is definitely my comfort food because we eat it like every day.
Yeah, we forgot to buy it today and the market's closed tomorrow.
I'm so annoyed.
We're outraged.
I'm so annoyed.
Outraged. So moving on to breads and baking. So
we've touched on the Florence bread. It's absolutely rubbish. If they hand down a bread bowl and you take a bite out of it, you're like, no, what is this? It's so bad.
They moved on then to make focaccia bread, which everyone knows. And focaccia bread's lovely. I like focaccia bread. I like it with the sandwich. We have like schiacciata, which is just like a kind of focaccia ciabatta version of a bread.
Yeah, and they do
really
ciabatta here.
They do ciabatta. Like they're freshly baked bread. It's lovely here, but it's just it's not what we're used to. We're used to like lovely sourdoughs, soda bread, Irish soda bread,
whole meal toast,
like incredible,
brown
really,
bread,
really good.
Brown
you
bread.
Can get like home meal breads and stuff in some of the bigger chain markets, but it's just not as good. You can just tell it's been processed and
I need to get a recipe for brown bread when I'm at home, like a good one, and then I can make it here because it'd be so good with soup and stuff. Again,
I'd love to bring home a loaf of proper, I don't know if it's like Brennan's who make it. Yeah, it's Brennan's batch bread, like just the big thick batch bread.
You love a white pan.
Oh no, but like the this is batch though, baby. This is completely different animal altogether. Just like for soup, for whacking the sauces.
Trying to bring white bread through an airport though.
Only I would ever get. Only I would ever get away with it.
Yeah.
Just be like, I'm holding it the whole flight. Be like, don't touch it.
But yeah, no, there are places in Florence where like we can get sourdough. It's a little bit pricey, a little bit spenny, but overall, I prefer Irish bread, but that's just what we grew up with. So
yeah, no, like there is some nice, like obviously like for baking, their pastries and their croissants and their eclairs,
leaps
and bounds. Like they're in the bakery every morning at 4 o'clock. Like it's very traditional here for cafes and restaurants to open at like 6 a.m. for your shot of espresso.
Yeah. Shout out though to the Irish apple tart and Barnbrack is like big thing around Halloween.
I think they'd also love scones over here.
Oh my god,
scones or scones? Scones or scones? Scones. Always.
Mad.
Mental people only call it scones. What's a scone? What the fuck is a scone? It's that scone.
Oh yeah, my mom does like freshly baked scones twice a week, so that with a little bit of jam.
Oh yeah. My mom makes an amazing carrot cake.
Carrot cake's nice.
Yeah, carrot cake's good as well. I think they do it here, but
they do. No, it's
not as good though.
Yeah.
Versus scones versus biscotti. Biscotti are just like different versions of biscuits over here.
I have to say, like, okay, bread, I feel like Irish wins. Like in terms of like pastries and cakes and stuff, I feel like Italy wins. But like, God, they can't do a biscuit. It's just like the crisps.
Yeah, I've had some that are really good, but they're like whole almond, sesame seed. Like there's a lot of shit in there that doesn't need to be there. But I've had some that are lovely.
Yeah, I prefer like maybe it's more like the European or like our international. I like the like Cadbury's biscuits.
I know, yeah. But it's that there's so many variants in Italy. You don't know which are the good ones and which are the bad ones, and they're all different flavors.
But 99% of them are going to be dry.
Yeah,
just so dry.
Yeah,
they're meant to be dipped into a coffee, which is fair.
Yeah, fair. So moving on then to seafood specialities.
Well, you're more of a seafood eater than I am. And, I like a whitefish. I like a salmon. I like tuna. That's about it.
Yeah.
You like all of the shellfish.
I think when you're comparing Ireland versus Italy, like both can get amazing fish, very high quality. Ireland's like distribution network for fish is a little bit worse, I would say, considering my dad has to go to Mullingar to get like really nice.
Yeah,
like,
we got our shipped up.
Prawns.
My parents live in Galway, and they get it shipped up from Cork. It's bizarre.
It's mental to me.
Whereas
mental.
You can go to a market in where did we go? Like I know it was in Livorno, but we also saw it in Bologna. Like Bologna is right in the middle of Italy, and we saw fish that was so fresh that it was still hopping off.
It was still jumping on the counter. Yeah, so like crab, octopus, calamari, like everything like that in Italy is incredible because they get all the baby squid, they put them in fresh pastas, really incredible. But I haven't had an oyster here yet because they get the Mediterranean oysters, which are like a lot smaller. They're just not as nice. Atlantic oysters are just so much, for me, they're much juicier and saltier and just like better. Not saltier, I think the Mediterranean is actually saltier, but it's the balance of flavour. I think Ireland wins on that one.
Yeah, and like we're kind of like, what are like some famous Irish? So chowder is a big one.
Yeah, chowder obviously is just like
our soups are definitely.
Yeah,
got back to I hate the Italian soup so much. Well, yeah, so chowder is like a huge thing. The oysters are really big. Dublin Bay prawns is like a huge thing as well.
Dublin Bay prawns, even in Galway now, you have some of the best like mussels and oysters. Or like Dainty Shore oysters are absolutely my favorite. They're only like 18 months old.
Yeah, shout out to the Galway Oyster Festival.
Yeah, Galway Oyster Festival.
It's the biggest in the world. And then so Italians, they obviously do what's the seafood pastas that you eat.
I do like the linguine with clams, and I do like the
anchovy pizza.
Anchovy pizza, baby. Anchovies here are
like
unbelievable.
That day you ordered an anchovy pizza.
Jane made the mistake of being too concentrated on what she was ordering, didn't realize what I was ordering, and then when hers turned out to be shit, she was like, "It's okay, you got a pizza, didn't you, for your next course?" And I went, "Oh no, you didn't realize what I ordered, did you?" She's like, "What?" Like, anchovies, capers.
It was absolutely rank. I tried to have a slice of it, I couldn't even eat it. It's just not
unbelievable. I even brought a flagpole.
It's just not my cup. Yeah, and then he smelled out the Airbnb's rotten. Anyway. But yeah, I think that the salmon quality here is on par with home.
Yeah.
I think we love fresh sea bass here as well.
Sea bass here is unbelievable. Like they get a lot of different whitefish that is just like so fresh, high quality.
I got 2 huge ones sitting in the fridge that I'm going to cook up later. So that's exciting.
I think the price points are definitely better in Italy because there's more volume, but it's not by that much, I don't think.
No, it's somewhat similar, but I do think just the freshness in Italy is a lot better.
Yeah, it's getting delivered every single morning. Like,
it's just crazy.
It's just constant.
We're a small island in the middle of the Atlantic, and we can't get fresh.
Ireland doesn't have any like speciality dishes when it comes to seafood, apart from just like, you do your mussels in a white wine sauce, like kind of French traditional cooking.
I would say chowder though is very
chowder is just. I could get a chowder over here in the winter, which I'm sure they probably do somewhere, but not the same as home. Definitely not. Moving on then to one of my favorites, cheese and dairy, which Jane is slightly allergic to.
Yeah, I have a bit of a lactose problem, so it's not ideal. I still
we'll keep the cheese very short. Everyone knows cheese here is extremely famous, and
well, what's the Italian famous cheeses? There's mozzarella, there's pecorino. You love a bit of pecorino.
I love a bit of pecorino. There's provolone. There's also Parmigiano. I always forget which way to say it.
Parmesan, yeah.
I know, yeah. You say it one way and you get shot.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to say it the Irish way.
Say it the other way and you get celebrated. So the biggest difference though is we make cheddar in Ireland and England and Scotland, and they just don't do it here. They import pre-sliced cheddar from other countries,
which isn't great. And then they do like an Emmental, is it?
Yeah, the Dutch cheese. So they have like the really plain ones, and it just makes no sense to me.
I mean, you go into now. I have to say, like, the Parmesan here is amazing, and I can have Parmesan. Their lasagna is top notch here as well, like their bechamel sauces, all that kind of stuff. But it's really difficult. Like, if I'm trying to cook something for Cormac and I need cheese, we're so used to just like having like cheddar or shredded cheddar or whatever. So I went into a shop one day, like when we first gotten here, and I was like, there are fucking 5 aisles of cheese, but like I'm just looking for cheese, like a fucking regular cheese.
You're like ringing me, being like, "What? Where's the fucking normal cheese?" And I'm just like,
looking at cheese, and it's like €22 for a piece of it. I'm like, what is this?
Like, maybe we could use some pecorino. And she was like, "There's 12 fucking pecorinos." I was like, the one with the orange label, I think, or like the rind. She was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, that wasn't ideal.
So we found one cheddar. It's like a 200-gram block called Wicks from England, but it's like €6 or €7.
Yeah, great.
And I was just like, I'm not paying like that much for a cheese that's not even from here. I was like, I don't mind paying €3 or €4 for a block of cheese from Italy that's like really high quality.
Yeah.
But
we do always bring cheese home to our family from Italy. But when we return from Ireland, we will be bringing Kerrygold butter by the suitcase load.
But butter is just not a thing.
They don't do salted butter here. It's shocking.
I think they're like cows are obviously missing like a lot of fat content because it's just like
it's not creamy. It's not
creamy at all. And the colour is off pale white.
Yeah, there's a French butter that they stock in some of the larger supermarkets. It kind of does the job, but
we just throw it in the pan for cooking.
Yeah.
But
no, we bring Kerrygold in bulk. So
yeah, Kerrygold all the way. Or Lakeland Dairies, local shout out.
Oh yeah,
have to keep it local.
So festive foods and traditions. I guess we'll just talk about, like, we'll mention very quickly Easter. It's all about the Easter egg here.
Yeah, they do like Easter eggs.
Like, they look beautiful. Huge. Their chocolate is a little bit different here.
Yeah.
And then they also do lamb, same as us, but their lamb cutlets, I'm telling you, they're little baby,
little baby things, like.
You get nothing off it, like. So, kind of the same at home, Easter eggs, lamb.
Yeah.
In the summertime then, same as us, they kind of focus more on the fish in the summertime.
They're very seasonal. There's dishes in Italy that only come in once an ingredient or anything's out of season, they just change it. But so they're brilliant at that, where like, I think obviously like mushroom season in October, November.
And truffles. So you see truffle on everything on the menus.
You get what's the big, I was about to say portobello mushroom there. The other really famous mushroom. Porcini mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
You get that, and that becomes a staple in all the restaurants.
Yeah.
And then as well, olive oil. Once the new olive oil batches come through, that's like a huge thing where
we're very lucky to be friends with people who own a vineyard. They were Cormac's customers for a long time, so they always bring us in some olive oil.
We got two bottles last year.
Yeah, we got one the first year. Yeah,
now two, and now I'm gone from the pub, so I'm like, will I get any?
I know, that's so good. But yeah, like the olive oil section in supermarkets here is like bigger than the wine sections at home.
Oh, and there's so many like extra virgin olive oil, and then like the new olive oil, and even supermarkets has stocked the new olive oil, which is like really cloudy.
Yeah,
and just like it's actually kind of spicy when you drink like a good one.
It's good one, yeah. It has a little spice.
That's what, like the local thing is like, you feel the tickle. Just like, like, don't say like that, but I do, yes.
Yeah. And then at Christmas time, Christmas isn't like as big here.
Well, they don't just do turkey. Like, they do a lot of fish dishes. They do their pastas. They do like 7 courses.
Yeah, we might just do a whole episode about like traditional Italian festive stuff, because like they use like 7 fish courses on Christmas Eve. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, different parts of Italy have different traditions. And there's another one in Florence specifically, which I'll find out the details for that episode.
Yeah,
there's something that only comes into season for Christmas, and they have it a lot here. You can't have a Christmas dinner without it. Nicola was telling me that. I forget.
Okay, then desserts and sweets. We kind of touched on it in the baked goods, but definitely like apple tart at home is amazing.
Yeah.
What else would you have as like a cake, like rhubarb tart as well?
Rhubarb crumble. Rhubarb crumble would be one of the biggest ones.
Scones. Barnbrock then. What other kind of baked goods or like dessert
No,
stuff?
it's all over the world, but in every like restaurant in Ireland, you'd always find a sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah,
But if you find a good one, it's like
really good.
unbelievable.
And then obviously we do like our 99s, like our ice cream
with a flake
in it. Yeah.
That's the shit.
Or a big one was like we'd have like vanilla ice cream, little slice of it with 2 wafers. That like we'd always get that as kids.
Yeah. No, I think the apple tarts, barnbracks, I think they're the traditional Irish desserts. Like we love as well in Ireland tiramisus, and we love like all the stuff they do in Italy.
Yeah.
But obviously, like tiramisu is here just.
Yeah. So then in Italy, obviously tiramisu is on every menu.
Yeah.
There's like lemon sorbets, which looks beautiful. It's not my kind of jam, but you like it.
And the lemon sorbet here is really, really good. Another traditional one that they do here is affogato. And that's quite nice. It's just usually vanilla ice cream or like a slightly flavored ice cream, coffee on top, and you just. Because I've seen people order that in Ireland.
I think you'd like it.
I do like it.
Yeah.
I had it. It's really nice.
And then gelato. It's literally like going for gelato is like always going for a Supermax back home. Like
there's pissed Italians at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
They all just go for ice cream.
Like, what are you doing? Do you get no ice cream? That's like what?
It's just not. I don't think I'd have rake of pints or like a load of wine in the bread. Do you know what I want? An ice cream. Like it's the messiest food.
It was like we were in one place on the holiday. I think it was Lake Garda in Sermone, and I went out to find like water or some sort of like food, not even food, but like just snacks.
Yeah.
We just wanted a little pig man. The only places that were open were gelato shops.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I went in and they just like mountains of gelato. I'm like, €6. I was like, I was like, things are like a half a kilo each. What's going on?
It's a nightmare. We didn't have any bin as well, so we had to leave them in the bath. Just
in the
melt
sink.
Everywhere.
Just like let them melt through the sink. Not good. But
disaster. We did. Pasta. So just, is there any more Italian dishes you want to talk about?
Cannoli. Like that's a big one.
Yeah.
More down the south.
Sorry, just to mention, they put pistachio on everything, and I just don't like pistachios. And
pistachio on absolutely everything.
Even a tiramisu. I ordered a tiramisu one day. It came out with a fat load of pistachios on it. I'm like, oh.
Like cheesecake with pistachio.
Yeah.
Like that's a big one as well.
Nightmare.
It's just a nightmare. Just a nightmare. But yeah, as we said, like with the pastry shops in the mornings and a lot of sweet treats, the desserts here are just crazy.
So then we'll talk about pasta versus potatoes.
Pasta versus potatoes.
Do you want to talk about the pasta and I'll talk about the potatoes?
I mean, like pasta is just everywhere. Like I don't know what I meant to talk about.
That's true. So
it's made fresh. There's about 70 different styles of bloody pasta.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone is treated well. All different regions like have their own signature pasta. Yeah. And like you can get like a calabrese, which has a bit more spice in it. You can get a cacio and pepe, which is just like black pepper and butter basic pasta from Rome. So everywhere has a different. Every region has
it. Like your pesto pasta, the truffle pasta here.
Yeah, so they all have their different ones. But like the big one in Florence is the pappardelle cinghiale. So the pappardelle is a really thick, wide pasta
with wild boar,
and it's long as hell, and it's
it's really good.
First time I got it was quite al dente, and I was like, oh, this is style. And the next one I got was quite al dente, but it was actually outside of Florence. And then when I actually got to Florence, I got a really good one.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. So it's very traditional.
I like the wild boar one because they don't. So just to talk about it first, as Ireland, they don't really put meat in their pasta. Like they'd never put chicken in pasta.
No,
you get the wild boar, you get seafood pasta, and then like what they sometimes have the little ham in what's the one called with
pancetta
the egg?
Or the guanciale.
Guanciale,
the cheek of a pig.
Yeah, but otherwise you never ever see like chicken in pasta.
No, they're not going to put a breasted chicken next to a plate of pasta. It's like, no. You have your pasta first and then the chicken later. I want it together. No.
Whereas Ireland, we do like a lasagna. We like chicken in our pasta. It's very student staple.
Yeah.
Everyone I think ate pasta for all of their student days. And they always have like a tomato-y pasta. It's always like the vegetarian option in restaurants. It's
always.
Like a tomato pasta.
Tomato pasta. It's just like arrabbiata. That's the one in Ireland that's always like on the menu. Penne arrabbiata. And it's like, I haven't seen it once here.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't recommend.
I haven't seen penne pasta in many restaurants here either.
No,
like,
it's not
funny. Like they use everything else, but not. They have it in the supermarkets, but it's just not a.
Yeah, and then like the supermarkets, it's just crazy. It's like aisles upon aisles upon aisles of pasta. Like you've got your dried pasta, then you've got your fresh pasta, then you've got your boxed pasta. It's incredibly cheap here as well.
Oh my God. It's
like 19 cents for a packet of spaghetti.
Yeah.
And it's really, really good, I have to say. But yeah, so that's pasta. And then
versus our staple.
Potatoes. So they do potatoes in Florence.
Yeah.
They do like a roast potato with like some garlic and rosemary. They're fine.
Nice. They're fine. They're absolutely fine.
But that's about it.
Yeah. They don't really use potatoes in much else.
No.
It's just like a side. They serve it like with every single meat where they just have but it's the one style of potato. That's it. Like,
it's just like roast potatoes.
But I've seen places here, and I'm sorry that like Italians hate the rest of the world for putting pineapple on pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they put chips on pizza here.
It's bizarre. And they put chips in
kebabs and pizzas. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's so weird.
Stop lecturing us about putting a piece of fruit on a pizza when you're putting carbs on top of carbs.
Yeah. No, they never do it in like the traditional places. We're talking.
No, it's like the takeaway places,
really
like the kiosk, the kiosk hole in the wall where you're pissing you like your Supermax, and you go in and you get people love it.
It's so bizarre.
What are you doing?
Yeah, their chips here are not amazing.
They do like a lot of like wedge style chips here.
They're kind of like wafer style.
Yeah, like wafer style.
They're like the best
like like the oven chips you get in little, like the fancy ones. You'd be like, oh, they're nice. They're okay.
But overall, it's get the roast potatoes, chips in Italy. Just you're in a bad place if they're serving chips, you know. Whereas potatoes in Ireland, I mean, like our version of lasagna, I always feel like think of an Italian dish and then just replace the pasta bit with potatoes. And it's like, so think of a lasagna, instead of instead of pasta, we use potatoes. So it's just a shepherd's pie. And like, we love a mash.
Love
potatoes and stew.
Mash. We love colcannon, where you just put your bit of cabbage through it, a lot of butter. I mean, like, there's so many. Like, it's just.
And then we do like roasty potatoes. We do really good chips.
Boiled potatoes,
thick fried chips.
Jacket potatoes. They probably love jacket potatoes here.
They would, yeah.
Bit more English.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still loved in Ireland. I know
boiled
a lot of people
potatoes, just a little bit of butter on it.
It doesn't matter as long as it's potatoes with a lot of butter and a lot of salt. It's delicious.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting potatoes with like 90% of every dinner that you're going to get. Anything else to say on potatoes?
Potatoes, they're absolutely amazing, and I think Irish people don't realize that we eat them every single day, and we love them every single day.
So good.
We treat them with respect.
Hash browns, but
hash browns. That's what you're going to have to add to your breakfast order.
The diet's going completely out the window for Ireland. I'm so excited.
It's all right. You'll be losing so much weight by shivering in the cold and sweating, so you'll be fine.
So the final thing that we're going to talk about is just meat in general in Ireland versus Italy.
Yeah.
So in Italy, they have their primi course, which is like their, pasta.
Yeah.
With a risotto or whatever. And traditionally that doesn't have any meat in it. And then
they go first of all with the antipasti, which is like the mixed charcuterie, cured meats. And then you can get like the Parma ham and melon. Like that's a huge one in most Italian places. So you start with a little touch of meat, go to your primi, lots of pastas.
And then your second D is your meat dishes. Yeah. Whereas in Ireland, it's, your starter is usually like a chicken wing or a prawn or a bowl of soup or a chowder or whatever.
Some sort of meat.
Some sort of meat, yeah. And then followed by a dish that is either like your meat to veg, like your roast dinner, or
your pasta with chicken. So
definitely always meat. Like the Irish side is very, very meat focused, I feel.
Yeah.
But the meat dishes that they do in Italy, they do really well. So like cured meats. Okay. We live in Florence. There's cured meats everywhere.
I mean, yeah.
It is beautiful. They don't really do like an Irish ham.
No, because they have...
Mortadella
we love.
Yeah. So mortadella, for anyone who doesn't know, is like... it's made in Bologna. It's from Bologna. It's where and then when people went over to America, it's where like bologna came from.
Yeah, bologna.
So, but yeah, mortadella is like the closest thing to an Irish ham. But Bacon, they can't do a back bacon rasher.
They can't do back bacon rashers.
They can't do rasher. They can't do bacon across the board. Like
they can do the guanciale really good, but the guanciale you can't really cook whole. It's like hard to do like in a slice.
Yeah, they don't.
You have to like chop it up and just like fry it for the carbonara.
They don't do a rasher. They don't do a streaky bacon. It's just not done here. So that is something that's very much missed. In terms of chicken and things like that, we've found our places now, but in supermarkets, like the smaller supermarkets, especially like ones in like city sectors, their meat options are not great, and it's low.
They're like
quality.
Centras and their Galas here, and even they're like Aldi's. No, don't buy chicken. Like the chicken breasts can be cut that thin, the beef can be pre-cut that thin. It's just like,
it's just not the greatest. Like they don't eat meat. I don't think that Italians eat meat very regularly at home.
I feel like they do, but it's just like they do the traditional Italian thing of like doing a bit of chicken with some roast potatoes on a plate. Yeah. And like it just needs to be slightly moist for them and they're happy.
Yeah.
Whereas like Irish people need to fill it with as much like
moisture, gravy,
rub oil on the outside, salt, pepper, like do all of that. I think the Italians are very much like, it's grand, like whack it in the oven, a bit of salt, pepper on top afterwards, and away you go.
Crazy.
But I will say that the quality difference between Irish chicken and Irish lamb and Italians variants is completely...
I think that our meat is superior, I have to say.
Oh, like the meat quality in Ireland is absolutely incredible. And like a lot of Italian meat's very good, but it's just like...
They even, like we see Angus steak on a lot of like Irish.
You can get
steaks,
black Angus from Ireland,
especially in the good restaurants.
Yeah.
You can see like that they get that in, or in like some of the more premier kind of markets.
They do all like the 38-day aged, dry aged Irish steaks, and they look unbelievable.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know. I just feel like the meat quality to buy out and in restaurants.
Yeah.
It's just not amazing. They do a really good field steak. That's a highlight. They do a really good T-bone steak.
Yeah.
And that's about all I'd be ordering out, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be it.
But yeah, I do love Irish meat.
Do you miss it, do you?
I do. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go home. We're going to wrap we could talk about food all day.
All day long.
We're going to wrap this up. We might just do some more like specific food ones.
Yeah, we can like compare and contrast maybe. Mm-hmm. Maybe cook both, bring some Irish stuff back and be like, hey.
We could record the pod while we're cooking.
While we're cooking, yeah, that will go well.
That wouldn't be annoying at all.
No.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys. And next week we're going to talk about drinks, alcohol, all that kind of stuff. And we will catch you in the next one.
We'll see you next week for a little tipple.
To help the channel grow, please subscribe on your listening platform. And for some fun video content, you can also follow us on TikTok at The Irish Podcast. You can also support us via Patreon now at patreon.com/The Irish Podcast.